Every home library needs a reading chair, and I lean towards a funky design. I admit this isn't the first version of this chair I made, but what I did before this was good practice for me.
In a world, a tiny, miniature world that exists only in her imagination.
Hi y'all, I'm Tippy Cal, MiniMakerSal's imaginary friend and video narrator. Let's get right to the making of the library chair. Sal wanted to make a funky chair for the library Book Nook, so she came up with an angular design and made a template to use for cutting the boards and fabric. The orange inner lines are to guide the cutting of the cardboard and balsa wood. The blue lines are the fabric cutting guides. She used a stylized graphic of a phoenix in flight and colored it yellow to a deep red or a deep orange and placed it in front of a burgundy sun. On the dark gray background, she added a deep gold burst of lines and used burgundy and dark gold checks on the chair cushion. The base of the chair is a 2 by 2 inch piece of 1/16 inch balsa wood. Sal painted it copper on the sides and bottom and painted a narrow margin along the top. Using t-shirt transfer paper, Sal ironed the reverse design onto a thin off-white pillowcase. The design was printed as a mirror image of how it would look when ironed on the fabric, so keep that in mind if you print any t-shirt transfers for any reason and save the $2 per transfer sheet by not having to reprint.
Tippy tip.
Please take care when ironing the transfer onto the fabric. Sal covered a very smooth flat board with a pillowcase and used her iron on its highest heat with no steam, as steam will mess things up. Put pressure into the pressing and iron for twice as long as you think you need to. Sal took 5 minutes to iron the 11-inch by 8.5-inch piece. Sal let the transfer cool to room temperature, then pulled the transfer backing away from the fabric. To protect it, she then coated the transfer on the fabric with Mod Podge. Yes, it makes the fabric stiffer, but the transfer did as well, so the difference is minimal. In the future, Sal will not use fabric transfers for fabrics that should have more give, such as on upholstered furniture. She says she'll use plain soft fabric, glue the piece together, then hand paint it if she wants a unique design. After the Mod Podge fabric dried, Sal cut out the pieces she'd be using. Using some light so she could see through to the design of the fabric, Sal lined up the back panel, then drew a pencil line around the whole piece so she'd know where to attach it after spray gluing on the back of the fabric. Then it was time to attach the fabric to the outer back and sides of the chair. Sal used masking tape to hold the folds in place so the fabric would go around them neatly. So the fabric would lay over to the back neatly, Sal cut slices into and out of the fabric as you see here. For the corners, she cut 2 lines close to the corner so the fabric would cover that corner. She then cut pieces out of the fabric so it would not go beyond the edges when she folded it over. Then it was time to attach the back and sides piece to the chair base. She first glued the bottom of the back to the base, then glued the sides down. Sal glued a piece of 1/4-inch black foam board to the cardboard chair seat, then cut out a piece of an old wool blanket to cushion it. She spray glued the fabric back and tacked the corners to the underside. She then folded the sides down to get the square cushion. After that was done, she used a folded piece of the fabric trim, which was on her file transfer sheet, and glued that around all 4 sides of the cushion. This is a quick shot of how she cut and glued the fabric to each cushion. This is how the corners ended up at that point. Pretty rough looking, mostly due to the stiffness of the fabric. Sal first gathered some thick dark gray acrylic paint, hoping she could use that to make the corners look better. Nope, not a good idea. So she grabbed her acrylic modeling paste and filled in the corners. She didn't get any photos of the next steps, but what she did was to mix up some paint to match the dark gray and gold parts of the fabric, testing them first on a scrap piece of the transfer, and painted the newly molded corners to hide as many imperfections as she could. This is a close-up of the corners on the finished chair. Not too bad. Now it's all ready to glue together. Using her mini hot glue gun, Sal attached all cushions to the inside of the frame of the chair. Off camera, she painted a cheap dollar store napkin ring in copper-colored acrylic paint. She used super glue to attach it to the bottom of the chair. And yay, the chair was done. Here's how it looks in the empty library Book Nook room. Well, it's time to make a table, a rug, and some other accessories for the library Book Nook, so that's what MiniMakerSal will be doing next. That chair was a fun project for me, though I had a couple practice runs with it before this video. I'm looking forward to all the other little things I'll now be making for this. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and leave me a comment or a question. See you next time.